All right, so welcome everyone. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into some predictions about the year 2025.
Oh, this should be good. 2025, huh? What kind of stuff are we talking about?
Well, we've got a really interesting mix of sources. We've got, of course, Nostradamus, the guy who seemingly predicted everything.
Oh, yeah, good old Nostradamus. Can't have a predictions episode without him. What else?
We've also got some predictions from a Japanese monk. And we'll even be looking at some stuff from, believe it or not, The Simpsons.
Wait, The Simpsons? Like the cartoon?
Yep, The Simpsons. They've actually got a pretty surprising track record when it comes to predicting real-world events.
Huh. Well, I guess you learn something new every day. All right, so where do we even begin with all of this?
Well, I think the best place to start is with Nostradamus. I mean, he's kind of the OG when it comes to predictions. Plus, he's got some pretty wild stuff about 2025.
Yeah, Nostradamus is always good for a bit of drama. So what's he saying about 2025?
Well, one of the big ones that kind of jumps out is this celestial fire he talks about descending upon the earth.
Celestial fire. That sounds intense. Like, what? Some kind of massive asteroid or something.
Well, some people interpret it that way, like a giant meteor impact or something.
Yikes. That's not a good start to 2025. Are there any other interpretations out there?
Yeah, others think it's more metaphorical. Maybe it's about war, some huge global conflict.
Oh, so it could be like a nuclear attack or something like that.
Yeah, or just like major technological disasters, widespread cyber attacks, that kind of thing. It's really open to interpretation.
I guess that's what makes Nostradamus so intriguing, right? Always leaves you guessing.
Exactly. And speaking of guessing, we've also got some predictions from a Japanese monk about 2025.
A Japanese monk. Now, that's something I didn't expect. What does he say?
He predicts a period of great turmoil. He calls it the 3 disasters and 7 difficulties.
3 disasters and 7 difficulties. Wow, that sounds difficult. What exactly are these disasters and difficulties?
He predicts things like widespread natural disasters, wars, famines, plagues. Pretty bleak stuff.
Oh, man. Not exactly a walk in the park. So Nostradamus and this Japanese monk are both predicting tough times ahead.
It seems that way. They seem to share a sense that things are going to get pretty rough, at least for a while.
Well, that's not exactly cheering me up. But hey, maybe The Simpsons will have some good news for us.
Well, let's see. So you remember that episode where Homer travels to the future?
Yeah, the one where they have those crazy hover cars and everything.
Yep, that's the one. Well, in that episode, Homer spots someone wearing a badge that says Trump 2024.
Wait, seriously. Trump 2024. So they're predicting a second Trump presidency.
That's what it looks like. Of course, The Simpsons are often satirical, so it's hard to know how seriously to take that prediction.
Yeah, true. But they have predicted some pretty wild stuff that actually came true, haven't they? It makes you wonder.
It really does. So we've got Nostradamus talking about celestial fire and global conflict, a Japanese monk predicting the 3 disasters and 7 difficulties, and The Simpsons hinting at a second Trump presidency.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little worried about 2025. Is there anything positive in these predictions?
Well, there are a few glimmers of hope. Some predictions mention potential breakthroughs in medical technology, particularly in areas like cancer research and gene editing.
Oh, okay, that's something at least. Medical breakthroughs would be amazing. What else?
There are also predictions about the rise of renewable energy and advancements in artificial intelligence that could help us solve some of the world's most pressing problems.
So maybe, just maybe, 2025 won't be a complete disaster after all.
Exactly. It's like there's this sense that we're on the verge of some major transformations, both positive and negative.
Yeah, a real turning point. And I guess the big question is, how are we going to navigate all of this? What choices are we going to make that will shape the future?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's something we'll be exploring in more detail in the next part of our deep dive.
Can't wait. But for now, I think I need a break to process all of this. Celestial fire, 3 disasters and 7 difficulties, Trump 2024. It's a lot to take in.
I know, right? It's enough to make your head spin. But that's what makes these predictions so fascinating, don't you think? They challenge us to think about the future, about the choices we make, and about the world we want to create. So, stick with us. We'll be back soon to explore some more predictions for 2025.
All right, sounds good. Looking forward to it. All right, so I think I've had enough time to process the more, shall we say, intense predictions.
Yeah, we did kind of jump right into the deep end with all that talk of Celestial fire and global upheaval, didn't we?
No kidding. But hey, maybe things aren't all doom and gloom, right? I mean, there's got to be some good news somewhere in these predictions for 2025.
You know, you're right. We haven't even touched on some of the more optimistic predictions we found.
Okay, good. Let's hear those. I need a little bit of hope right now.
Well, one thing that popped up a few times was the idea of major breakthroughs in healthcare, especially in cancer research.
Oh, that would be incredible. I mean, who hasn't been touched by cancer in some way, right? What kind of breakthroughs are they talking about?
Well, some predictions specifically mention the development of new treatments that could be much more effective and have fewer side effects.
Yeah, that would be a game changer for sure. Anything about prevention or early detection.
Yep. Some predictions actually point to the possibility of finding ways to detect cancer much earlier, like way before any symptoms even appear.
Wow, that would be amazing. I mean, early detection is so crucial, right? It could save so many lives.
Absolutely. And then there were some pretty mind-blowing predictions about potential cures for certain types of cancer.
Cures. Really? Okay, now that's the kind of good news I was hoping for. What else? What else did you find that's positive?
Well, another area where they're predicting big advancements is gene editing, like literally rewriting our DNA to fix genetic disorders.
Wow, gene editing. It seems like that's been on the horizon for a while now, but they're saying it could actually become a reality by 2025.
That's what some of these sources seem to be suggesting. They're talking about potential breakthroughs that could lead to personalized medicine tailored to your specific genetic makeup.
Personalized medicine, huh? So treatments designed just for you, based on your unique genes.
Exactly. And even beyond treating existing conditions, some predictions mention the possibility of using gene editing to prevent genetic disorders altogether.
Prevent them entirely, like before a baby is even born.
Yeah, that's the idea. I know it sounds like science fiction, but the technology is advancing so rapidly that it's not as far-fetched as it might seem.
Okay, wow. I'm starting to feel a bit more optimistic about 2025 now. So healthcare's looking good. What about other areas? Like technology. We talked earlier about artificial intelligence, both the good and the bad.
Yeah, and some of these predictions actually offer a more nuanced view of AI. They suggest that it could be a powerful tool for solving some of the world's biggest problems.
Oh, interesting. Like how? Give me some examples.
Well, they're talking about using AI to optimize energy grids to make them more efficient and sustainable.
That makes sense. We're going to need some serious innovation to tackle climate change. Right. What else?
Some predictions also mention developing new AI-powered systems that could help us produce food more sustainably and feed a growing global population.
Okay, yeah, that's huge too. So basically using AI to address issues like climate change and food security.
Exactly. And they even talked about using AI to personalize education, like creating custom learning plans for each student based on their individual needs and strengths.
Now, that would be a revolution in education. I mean, imagine if every kid had a learning experience that was perfectly tailored to them. That's amazing.
It really is. So it seems like there's a lot of potential for AI to be used for good. Of course, we still need to be mindful of the risks and make sure it's developed and used ethically.
Yeah, for sure. AI is a powerful tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. It's up to us to make sure we use it wisely. But overall, I'm liking what I'm hearing about the potential of AI.
Me too. And it's not just AI that's predicted to shake things up in a positive way. They're also talking about some pretty major changes in the entertainment industry.
Oh, really? Like what? New streaming services, even crazier special effects in movies.
Well, those things too, probably.
Yeah.
But some predictions specifically mention the rise of entirely new storytelling formats.
New storytelling formats. Like what are we talking about here? Interactive movies, holographic plays.
Those are definitely possibilities.
Yeah.
But they also talked about advancements in virtual reality and augmented reality that could create truly immersive entertainment experiences.
Oh, I can see that. It's like instead of just watching a movie, you're actually in the movie.
Exactly. Like imagine being able to step into your favorite video game or explore a virtual world that feels completely real.
No, that would be something else. So healthcare, AI, and entertainment are all looking pretty exciting. Any predictions about music? Will we all be listening to AI-composed symphonies by 2025?
Well, some predictions do suggest that AI will play a bigger role in music creation, but they don't necessarily see it as replacing human musicians.
Oh, so it's more about collaboration then. Humans and AI working together to create something new.
Exactly. Like imagine using AI as a tool to explore new sounds, create complex arrangements, or even break down creative barriers.
That's a really cool idea. So it's like AI becomes a partner for musicians, helping them push their creative boundaries even further.
Yeah, I think that's a much more likely scenario than robots taking over the music industry.
Phew, that's a relief. I'd much rather listen to music made by humans with a little AI assist on the side.
Me too.
Hmm.
But, as exciting as all these technological advancements are, I think it's important to remember that technology is just a tool.
Right, right. It's how we use it that really matters.
Mm.
What are some of the predictions saying about that, about the human side of things?
Well, some predictions suggest that there's going to be a renewed focus on human connection and community in 2025.
Oh, that's interesting. So even with all the crazy tech advancements happening, people are still going to crave that face-to-face interaction, that sense of belonging.
Yeah, it seems that way. They're talking about a growing awareness of the importance of building strong relationships and fostering a sense of community, especially in a world that can feel increasingly isolating.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. It's like no matter how advanced technology gets, we still need that human touch.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And it seems like people are starting to realize that more and more, so it's not all about doom and gloom.
definitely not. It's like a mixed bag, right? We've got these incredible advancements happening in technology and healthcare, but also the potential for some serious challenges.
Exactly. It's like we're standing at this pivotal moment on the cusp of a new era, and it's up to us to decide what kind of future we want to create.
Yeah, that's a pretty profound thought. And it really makes you think about what role you want to play in shaping that future. What kind of choices are you going to make? What actions are you going to take?
Exactly. Because the future isn't something that just happens to us, it's something we actively create through our choices and actions.
So true. So, with all that in mind, what are your biggest takeaways from all of these predictions? What's really sticking with you?
I think what strikes me the most is this sense of both possibility and uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so much potential for amazing things to happen, but there are also some serious risks and challenges that we need to be prepared for.
Yeah.
Wow, we've really journeyed through a whole spectrum of predictions, haven't we? From those kind of unsettling ones like those disasters the monk talked about to, well, the more hopeful stuff like those medical breakthroughs.
Yeah.
It feels like 2025 is shaping up to be a pretty pivotal year.
It really does, doesn't it? I mean, with all this talk of global shifts and, the AI revolution and all that, it makes you wonder how it's all going to play out on a personal level, right? Like, how will all this impact everyday life?
Exactly. I mean, these aren't just abstract ideas, right?
Hmm.
It's stuff that could directly affect our jobs, relationships, you name it. Like, how do we even prepare for such a potentially transformative period?
Well, a lot of the predictions emphasize adaptability and lifelong learning as key skills. Those who are willing to embrace change and learn new things, well, they'll likely be the ones who navigate these shifts most successfully.
Makes sense. It's like we can't just cling to the old ways, right? We have to be open to evolving and adapting as the world changes around us.
Absolutely. I think more than anything, these predictions highlight that the future isn't some fixed destination. It's constantly being shaped by our choices, both individually and collectively.
That's a really empowering thought. It means we're not just passive bystanders, right? We have the power to influence the direction things go in.
Exactly. And I think that's where the real value of exploring these predictions lies. It gets us thinking critically about the future we want to create and what steps we can take to get there.
So it's not about being overwhelmed by all the what ifs, but rather using these predictions as a springboard for action, for shaping a future that aligns with our values.
Exactly. And it's not just about individual action either, right? Many predictions stress the importance of collaboration and cooperation, finding common ground to address challenges that affect us all.
Yeah, like that sense of global community you were talking about earlier. It's about recognizing that we're all interconnected and working together to create a better future for everyone.
Exactly. I mean, think about the big issues like climate change, social inequality, all that. No one person can solve those alone, right? It takes collective effort, a shared vision.
After diving deep into all these predictions, it's clear that 2025 could be a year of immense change and, well, some uncertainty too. But I think the most important takeaway is that we're not powerless.
Absolutely. We have agency. We have the ability to make choices, to take action, and to co-create a future that we can all be proud of. It's not about predicting the future perfectly, but about actively shaping it.
Beautifully said. And, that's a perfect note to end our deep dive on. So to everyone listening, what are your thoughts? What resonated with you? We'd love to hear your reflections. Head over to our social media and join the conversation.
Yeah, let's keep the dialogue going because ultimately, the more we engage in thoughtful discussion, the more prepared we'll be to navigate the complexities of the future together. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into 2025. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.